just gonna be really quick tonight. Being single sucks. Um, it sucks in the sense that you don't have a companion to be able to hold, to be able to love, to be able to share your life with. That's why it sucks. It sucks that I can't smell somebody, scent that I love, or miss somebody, or that I can lay down with, or cuddle with, or snuggle with, or the physical part of it all. It really sucks. um I've reached a point in my life where I don't want somebody just to have over, and you screw around and the next day it's gone. There's like a certain part of me that I feel guilty about that, and that's my own doing. I don't know if you guys will ever feel that way. I hope as a man that you can, if you're a young man and you're enjoying yourself and you're going out with these girls and you're hooking up with all of them, by all means have your fun. I don't critique any of it because I've been there and I've done that. I'm at this stage in my life where that stuff seems harmful. I don't want to hurt somebody. You might say, "Oh, well, they're interested, or they also are in the same boat as I am," and I've been there. And you're right. I could also turn my brain off or try to, but it doesn't allow me anymore. It doesn't allow me to just think of it as just a transaction. I generally feel now that if I take in that person in my life and I carry her body scent and I carry her fluids inside of me, I'm carrying a big piece of part of her emotion. If she's going through bad times, if she's been through a hard time, if she's lived a hard life, I'm taking that also with me. And this is too deep sometimes. Sometimes I get into my own head and just should basically look at it as a sexual transaction, right? Like she's having fun, I'm having fun. But I've reached a point in my life where I know that isn't fun anymore for me. If it is for you, I applaud that, because that doesn't mean you're a bad person or I'm any better or this person. We're all in different timestamps in life, right? We're all learning how to navigate through this world in our own little era. This is your era. Your era is to have fun. My era is to be more careful who's selective and who's coming into my life. Um, just to be clear, I do have a 6-year old. I split half the time with her and her mother, so she's not with me. So I could still bring in somebody without my daughter knowing. But I think knowing that I'm looking for something more, a lot more deeper, a lot more meaningful, that I hesitate, me, psychologically, right? I hesitate knowing that I might bring in that other person, drag her along the way, knowing that I'm not ready for a relationship, end up hurting her. Let's say she meets my daughter. My daughter ends up knowing all these girls that I'm dating, and she ends up seeing that her dad can't stay consistent with somebody. That means a lot to me. To me, I feel I would let down my daughter in some sense. Does that make me a mature man, a health? I don't know what that does, but I'm not willing to do that because I love my daughter so much, and I love myself enough right now to. That's the key, I think. I think the key is that I love myself enough to know that I don't want to put myself in situations where I'm going to regret them later, because the regret really ate me alive. Regret has really, really made the person that I am today, where it's easier for me to say no to things that I would, when I was younger, I would say yes to because I didn't think it would affect me later. But knowing that every action has a consequence, and I mean that in a woof, I don't want it to sound so cliche or sound so loosely, because it's a serious thing to say. Every action has a consequence. And I'll say that slowly. Every action has a consequence. You might not see it now, but enough times doing it, enough times not doing the right thing, or enough times swindling away, getting carried away, eating too many burgers or eating too many fries eventually gets you fat. If you're lying and you get caught cheating, then you get caught with, God forbid, any of you. I've never been caught with anything in my STD or anything, but I pray that none of you do go through that. I don't know what that would feel like. I'd be shocked. But you get caught with an STD or something, and then something happens to you, and then it's because you've been careless. You don't take every action. Every action has a consequence. And if I can allow you guys to understand as men how much power that is and how you have to be very careful in the world. I get it, man. Like when you're young, there's nothing that can stop you mentally. Nothing. Like you're just free from all the pain, from all the regret. You're just, even if you grew up in a messed up childhood, you know what's going to happen in your 20s? You're going to go raging crazy. You're going to find a party, you're going to find a couple loose cannons just like you guys are going to take over the world. At least that's what you believe. You guys are going to have fun with these girls. You guys are going to talk your smack. You guys are going to have all the rest of your life to think that you're going to have this fun, but it'll eventually die out. And you have to, I pray that none of you guys get to a point where none of your friends pass away, DUI, or thrown in jail. None of that stuff. I hope all of you end up being healthy, the ones that are young and having fun and doing the things with these girls. But eventually those girls, they grow angry and they don't end up trusting guys in their 30s, or they end up single moms in their 30s, right? I'm getting carried away. My point to you is, there's a certain level of relationship that I want, and it's not with a woman, it's with myself. I want to be able to learn to love myself. I want to be able to trust myself. When I say trust is when I say I do something, I want to do it so that I'm able to know, I can look at myself in the mirror and go, high five, bro, you did it. Or keep going. Or let's do another task. Or let's stay consistent with this. Because the more I do that for myself and not another person, the more I grow as an individual and the more I can trust and rely on myself to be able to be a better person for the world. You know, you can't fix the world. You can fix yourself though. And yeah, I don't want to go too much on a tangent. I hope this makes sense to somebody. I hope that when you're young, you're out there having the best time of your life, but you're also being really careful. I pray that you guys are very careful. I pray that you guys have your fun. There's no criticism here. All right, you guys want to critique somebody for having their fun, you want to call them names, you want to say this, or you want to, or you want every man that I see pointing the finger and pointing another man and saying he's messing up, he should go to jail, da, da, da. Man, like you got so many other stuff going on in your life that you don't like. Don't point at somebody doing that, right? Learn, give them some advice, help them along the way. Don't critique people. I mean, you can to an extent, but do it in a private conversation, right? We're too easily calling people names and critiquing other people. You're a bad person. You're a good person. You're a bad. It's like, what are we doing here? We're all in this together, right? And I don't mean to. Again, sometimes I go too much in a tangent. And another, my point to you is the relationships that I'm having for myself right now. I'm really enjoying. I do miss a woman. I do. Trust me. That doesn't mean I'm not like messing with myself, right? Like, I gotta figure out how to take out these fluids out of my body. So there's ways to do that, but it ain't the same. Like I don't even like doing it that much because it doesn't bring joy to me. It's just a release, right? But it's important that I take care of me first right now. And eventually, you know, if that happens, it happens. But I think, yeah, man, I'm happy. I can't, if I wasn't happy, I'd be out there chasing tail, I think. If that goes the same with you, and if this made any sense to you, I appreciate it. Thank you always for coming through and watching this video. Have a good night.